Okay, I'm live. So this is a extension of the prior video, which was me clarifying what happened at work. And that particular video was about me getting written up and all the details around that. So this video is going to be about the reason, one of the reasons, because they gave two. And it wasn't the reason that was in the last video. They gave two reasons why they fired me. They gave two reasons because the first reason wasn't good enough because I had made a point about what was going on. And so they made up another reason. The thing about it is, if I was able to think about the other point, I probably would have gotten out of being fired completely. But at that time, I was so frustrated, I couldn't really see that clear at the time. So I'm going to talk about the first reason why, the initial reason why they said they were going to fire me and how I got out of that reason. So they said they were going to fire me because I was a no show. And the thing is, I look at the calendar or the schedule before I leave work. So I saw on the schedule that I was not scheduled to work the next day, but I was scheduled to work the day after that. Okay, so I did not take pictures because I believed that my phone was being sabotaged and I didn't like people to know when I worked and when I was going to be going into work. So that worked to my disadvantage, which now I take pictures if I have to. So what happened was I'm going on my way to a person's house. The boss man calls me and he says, "Oh, can you well actually he calls me and I didn't answer the phone." I was like, "Oh, I'm not answering the phone because he's always calling me on my days off and I want a day off, and every time I seem to go toward this house where I was going, they always seem to call me." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it this time. I'm off today. I'm taking my day off and there's nothing else to it. I period." So I didn't think anything of it. And then I come in the next day and he was like, so and so, where were you? You were scheduled to work yesterday. I was like, no, I wasn't. He was like, yes, you were. I was like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't on the schedule to work yesterday. I looked at the schedule and before I left. And he was like, yeah, you were on the schedule. And I'm like, okay, well, let me go look on the schedule because I know I'm not. I know I wasn't on the schedule, but I just said, yeah, I'm feeling all confident. Like, let's go look at the schedule. I'm not on the schedule. Did you look at the schedule? So I look at the schedule in the break room and I notice this schedule had me on that day, but I also noticed this is not the same schedule because the schedule that he originally had some writing at the bottom. I'm a very observant person. I said, this isn't the same schedule. This is not the same schedule that was on the wall. The one that was on the wall had writing at the bottom of it. Where's that schedule? And he basically said, "Oh, he basically ended up saying in the meeting with the store manager and him that he had thrown that schedule away." So I'm like, it wasn't the end of the calendar month, so why would you throw that schedule away? Now that's looking real suspicious. That's sus. Okay, period. It's suspicious, and I think that's good enough of a point already. You threw the schedule away that proved that I wasn't scheduled to work. And then him and the store manager proceeded, which she was a female at the time, and the store manager. He was the assistant store manager, and he's the store manager now. And they proceeded to say that there is no way that they can reprint the same schedule, or not the same schedule. Excuse me. They proceeded to say there was no way they could reprint the schedule. I'm like, what do you mean you can't reprint the schedule? And they were almost trying to say that they didn't even have a printer. I'm like, okay, this isn't making sense. Like, and I'm just so discombobulated. It's like I'm just sitting here looking like a stupid because I'm like, nothing you're saying makes sense. Is this really true? And I'm like, my brain's telling me that it can't be true, but I'm not registering to say, y'all are can't be being true and honest right now. You have to be able to print a schedule. And I didn't ask the right questions either. Like, why can't you reprint the schedule again? And I didn't ask that question. But they were kind of trying, I feel like now that they were trying to make me look stupid and playing off my stupidity and playing off my inability to ask the right questions at the right time. And so they ended up telling me, the store manager, the lady, she ended up telling me basically, yeah, we've already asked permission from corporate if we could go ahead and fire you. I'm asking like, okay, well, why did you need to even ask corporate if you can go ahead and fire me if a no-show is a automatic termination? What did you need to ask corporate for if you knew that I was clearly in the wrong? No, see, I need to call corporate and let corporate know that you did what you did and you didn't use the same schedule to prove yourself. And then you came up with all these strange sayings that don't make sense about not being able to reprint the schedule and almost saying you don't even have a printer in here and all that weird stuff. And on top of that, I need to mention what I mentioned in the prior video, how y'all blamed me for something that was not technically my fault at all, and y'all gave me a bad review and nobody else when I am the best worker when it comes to, hell, damn near anything in there. And I'm tired of acting like I have to play myself down because it sounds arrogant or braggadocious to say that I'm the leader in there. I'm the best worker. I bust my ass off when I get in there. And I contribute to some of that to just my athletic ability and my want to hurry up and get the damn job done because it was so, and my ability to manage and organize and do things effectively and efficiently, you know. And people try to challenge that and say that that's not what I do, yet they make me the lead person and show that they can have four people doing the job and then bring it all the way down to just me being the one. So that was the first reason that they gave. And because I mentioned the fact that he threw the original calendar away, the lady was looking at him like, okay. But she didn't tell him anything and she didn't correct him. And she didn't say, oh, is that true, Mr. So and so, Mr. Somali? Is that true? Yeah, is that true that you threw the original calendar away? I'm sorry, I'm mad. I'm mad because my name's on papers. My name's on papers. You brought those papers to corporate or wherever you brought them, to your district manager or whoever. So now I'm just going to do the favor and put your name out there also because see, it would be really hard for me to get a job back there again. I mean, I can, but I'm upset because I called that person. And I'm going to give y'all the next reason why they decided to fire me. And that reason didn't make any sense. And I really sincerely apologize that I had to say this man's name, but it's just for the simple fact that I'm sick of my name being out there and having to fight. Now I just feel like if you felt like I could put up the fight, then that means that you feel like you can put up the fight, right? I don't think you would throw something out that you couldn't catch. So I don't want to be rude like that, but at the same time, it's like I even tried to make it work between us after that. I left very respectfully, and I really wanted to be ghetto, but I left very respectfully. And I'll tell you about that because I'm gonna make a part two because I wanted to be very clear on each reason. So this reason was the initial reason was you were a no show. I go in. I checked the calendar because I know I was not scheduled. So I'm walking with confidence. Oh, yeah. I look at the schedule. I notice the details like I always do. This ain't the same schedule. Where's the schedule? Hmm. Oh, I threw that one in the trash. And he said this in front of the store manager. Why wasn't that enough for her to say, oh, you know what? So and so, I need you to do something for me on the sales floor. Could you go and do that real quick? I just want to have a word with this person and I'll get back to you in a minute. And why didn't they take the time? Why didn't she take the time to talk to him and rationalize like what's going on here? There's nothing I could do in this situation. I can't do this because if I do this, and that my reputation is on the line. But because they figure, she's just a little fucking weakling, she's not going to probably do anything. And by then, I'll already be higher up the ladder, so it won't even matter. So yeah, I'm not gonna correct the situation because after all, I was the store manager and I wrote her up, and I was a part of giving that review and making her black ass cry when we know damn well she was good at what she did. Now, based on the last video, what she was trying to say is that I was being combative about when they were telling me I was going too slow, even though I was the fastest one, corrected the problem, got a stopwatch, everything, every time I clocked out, early clock out, early clock out, early clock out. Now, before that, I got a stopwatch. They were just saying, oh, you need to hurry up. I'm like, how do I need to hurry up? Like, this is how it was because I'm like, I thought they were trying to hurt my feelings. I didn't know what they were doing. I'm like, but what I'm saying? I'm going as fast as I can. And I told you they weren't organizing things the way they were supposed to for me to be able to take it out, which I mentioned. And they still didn't care to do it the proper way that the store says that they're supposed to do it for me. Okay. So she said that because one day she walked over there when the stock manager was talking to me and said, oh, you need to hurry up and go a little bit faster. And she saw that I kind of got upset about that. And I told you that I didn't take the training. All of the training, I didn't take it because they rushed me into working. Okay. And after that, they wanted to step it up a notch and make sure that everybody took their training was like 6 months down the road. And I told the manager, one of the managers, another lady, yeah, I haven't taken all the training. I don't know what all of it is, but she's supposed to check and see. And she said, yeah, you haven't taken all the training. You need to get up to date with all the trainings. And they never got back to me about doing any of those trainings. In the training is a specific video, I'm pretty sure, that talks about the time limit that I'm supposed to finish these bids in. Even if I had taken that training and forgot what the time limit was, it was up to the managers to remind me and everybody else, oh, you have this amount of time. Okay, let's go. And if you're falling behind on those times, you should be reminding everybody enough to where everybody knows. Matter of fact, you should put 35 minutes on the damn bin so everybody can remember that it's 35 minutes. Because like I said now, when you throw a lot of crap in there everywhere, all type of stuff, how you gonna do that in 35 minutes? Digging through it. Oh, the perfume goes here. Oh, this belt goes way on that side. Oh, this hat it goes over there. I'm just digging through stuff, man. I ain't no rat in a rat race. They trying to, that ain't no right. But that was the last video. So in this video, I was just explaining that they made the calendar. See all these injustices that were happening to me at work and nobody actually taking the time. When she did that review and wrote me up for something that wasn't true, she should have said, so and so, do you know it should have been a write-up. First of all, it should have been a discussion over my progress and what I'm doing well at and what she would like to see me improve on. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, bam, I'm finna slap this on your ass about, yeah, this, and I'm finna write you up. That was a very bad decision. And for someone who has been, and I'm sorry if people hate me after this, but for someone who has been working in the field for so long and has all this experience, I would think that you would know how to handle these situations interpersonally, even if you did see me get a little upset. I mean, understand where I'm coming from. Ask why I got upset. You didn't care enough about me to ask why I got upset. Seeing all that I've been doing, I mean, communicating about maybe my emotions and why I was feeling that way that day, I think that there wouldn't have been anything unprofessional about that. And then you would have had insight on, oh, I see. Now tell me, did you ever finish the training with this? Okay, oh, I see. Now tell me, does this person remind y'all? How many times have you heard them say that? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad we did this review. So this is what I want you to work on. And I'm going to talk to that person to make sure that they know. And if you haven't gotten up to the training in what you're working on, I want you to take those trainings so that you could be up to par because you're a really good worker. And I want you to be even that much more excellent. So we don't have any problems with anybody trying to make you the blame. And also, were there any issues that you have with doing your job? Is everything going okay? Is there anything that you would like to talk about? Is there anything that maybe you would like to bring to my attention? Oh yeah, there is. I would like to bring to your attention how all the stalkers in there are just throwing every product in the bin when they're literally categorized to what they're supposed to be putting in each one, and they're telling me, oh, it doesn't matter, but they're not the ones taking it. I am. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Oh, wow, that's a good point. I didn't know that that was happening. I will be sure to mention that to the stock manager, and I'm glad you brought that to my attention. Ching! As I got my okay, ching! I'm tired of it. Like, what? Okay, so this is, I'm doing something. I'm doing something. I've been cleaning. In a minute. Okay, so this is I'm sorry, that was kind of embarrassing to me. Um that's all. I'm like wondering why no one has taken the time. Like I feel like they loved everybody else that was going slow and making up stuff and not doing a great job, but goddamn, the person who was in there hustling and busting their ass off, they was trying to throw shots at. You telling me one time because I had got upset? And it wasn't like belligerent. It was just like I am going, I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, because I'm like, hey man, I know I'm busting I, talk to me nice or say something. Give me something that's of value. Like, okay, you got this amount of time. Were you aware of that? No, I wasn't. And you need to be organizing those bids and telling your stock people to put them in the right way because they not paying attention to that and they not listening to me when I say it because I don't have all that power. Are you aware of that? Oh, you know what? You're being real smart. I don't like you. See, now that's what it'll be. They don't like me when I start, but I didn't do that. I didn't do that to her. I didn't say that to her. I never complained like in a way that was like disrespectful because if I had complained and made that a point many, many, many times, and they would have eventually listened to me. I did a few times, but they never cared enough to listen to me. She is the stock manager. She should know, and she has been the stock manager before. Don't break down the processes when it comes to me having to be the one to do the work and then blame me when I'm doing a four-man job and that's saving you money. You didn't talk about how I saved you money because you was using 4 people and now you're only using one. I think I saved you money. We didn't talk about that. How much money is that an hour? How much does that add up a month? How much does that add up for the 11 months that I worked there? That's a lot of money. Nah, we didn't talk about that. But I want to stay focused, and I want to like keep this structured. And I know it's hard because I kind of seep back into the prior video what I was discussing. So yes, if you watch early on in this video, I gave you the first reason why they were deciding to fire me. So the video prior to that is me clarifying some things that were going on. And it was about the write up that they gave me during the review, during my first review for the job. Now, this is about the first reason why they were going to fire me. And I got out of it, but this is the same day, so I didn't actually get out of it completely. Now, the next video is going to be the final reason why they said, oh, well, if we can't get you on that, we'll get you on this. And that's when I just my brain kind of just shut down and I didn't ask any more questions. And that reason was wrong. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. Thank you for listening. And it's just been too long, and I feel like I have to. I don't really want to call people's names out, but I don't know. I was just moved to do that, and it's like I just want to clarify what I've been through and the things that people don't see that I'm having to deal with at work. And people try to say I'm not a hard worker and I'm not productive, and they try to play these gaslighting games, and it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. I get upset sometimes because I have passion for it and something's not going right. I don't get upset about anything else. Half the time I have a problem with liking people who act like they don't like me. I just had to learn to really stop liking people that don't like me. Stop being like, I really don't like people. And, I mean, I really, I've always just been like, I don't have a problem with them. They have a problem with me. But why do you have a problem with me if I don't have a problem with you? And I didn't do anything to you. So I'm about to make this other video. And thank you for watching. And I hope that this teaches some people who are going through some things at work about some of the things that other people go through. And maybe it shows you something that you can implement to make your situation better. And it's not really to put anybody on blast, but let me tell you something. Those people had moved up a level. Since me leaving from where I worked with those people moved up a level. Two of that store manager, she moved up to a higher position, and that the one who was an assistant manager, he moved up to a higher position. And I'm not gonna burn all my bridges, but I tried to reconcile with this guy, and I'm gonna talk about that also, and how I went about that in another video. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.